What's good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I am your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me, as always. Man, we're back to having fun, man. Look, everybody's breaking down numbers, getting all serious about the playoffs. I will be doing that too, but we're going to keep that for television, for Action Network. Me and Big Nick the Quick are putting together the All-NBA Respect Team. First team through third team. Everybody wants to put together an all-NBA squad, but what about the all-respect squad? The guys that get no love, put in shifts every single night, and, of course, we're going to have some fun with it. There's a lot of guys. I'm going to tell you right now that we have talked about over the years that will be on this list, of course. We got some crazy stats from the year as well for you guys that I think deserve some respect and that are fun and funny from players that you would not expect. We're going to break it all down. We're back. Big Nick the Quick, No Catch Up Sports Talk in Chicago. All NBA Respect Team. Loading.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Big Nick the Quick, what's happening?
How we feeling?
Man, you already know. I'm happy to be back on the mic, man. We've been busy. We've been rocking and rolling. You know how it is. But, man, we talked about it. We got on the phone. We're like, man, look, bro. Everybody's doing all the serious talk. We have all the serious talks all the time. Who's going to win the finals? Are the Celtics going to win the East and run everybody over, or are they going to get in some late game situations and have a hard time? Should Jokic win 3 MVPs in 4 years? When is Luka Doncic?
According to Gilbert Arenas, he shouldn't.
So we'll of course talk about all that stuff, but we want to have some fun. Everybody comes out with their all NBA teams, right? First through third, they come out with their all defense. Of course, we could do that. It's a lot of the same players, a lot of the same lists. A lot of people get influenced by people that are talking. JJ Redick comes out with a list. A lot of people got the same list. So, but this is the real list. You get what I'm saying here. This is the NBA all-respect team. Let me give you guys the criteria of what you need to be considered for the NBA all-respect team, a.k.a. the Jalen Brunson, Derek White, Norman Powell, TJ McConnell type roster. The criteria.
Brunson. We can't put Brunson there. Brunson. We can't Brunson.
No. But this is just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how to, this is just named after him. You know what I'm saying? He considered, it's just a.
He's the graduate. He's the graduate of the academy.
He's a graduate. Exactly. Jalen Brunson has graduated from the all NBA respect team, dog. So he's
the all NBA A team.
Yes, exactly.
My fault. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. The criteria, no all-NBA, first through 3. You can't be on the all-respect team if you're already on an all-NBA roster. No all-NBA for defense, either first, second team. You're not available to be on this list. Some guys have it's maybe on the list this year where it gets a little murky, but that's what we're talking about. No all-NBA guys, no all-stars. You can't be on the all-star team and be on the all-respect team. And then no award winners. So if you're about to win 6th man of the year, if you're about to win most clutch player of the year, if you're about to win rookie of the year, you're not going to be on the all respect team. Obviously, you're not going to be on the all respect team if you won the NBA MVP. We're going to go through first team, second team, third team. We're going to give all of our 5 on each team all at once. We'll have some laughs. We'll go through it, talk about why we respect these dudes' games, and then I got some all respect stats that we'll go through that I think were really interesting that I found when we were making these rosters. All right, Big Nick the Quick, you're going to do the honors and lead us off. Give me your first team.
Yes, sir.
NBA all-respect team.
So after our conversation this morning, I decided I wanted to stay with the rules. So initially I was going to have Herb Jones in this spot, but since we talked about it, Herb Jones is going to be a perennial all-defense team member starting with this season. Plays on one of the best teams in the league. So I decided to leave him off and go with some guys that aren't going to get that award. Now, my first guy, he might end up winning some postseason hardware this year for his contributions, but we talk about over the life of his career with the Minnesota Timberwolves. when we talk about what you want from a backup center, right? A guy that can come in, put in a shift. If your big man goes down, this is the guy that you want to insert. So my first team, all respect NBA center, is Mr. Naz Reid. Big fans of Naz Reid here. Go ahead.
But what if he wins 6-man?
That's what. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but keep going. Yeah.
Okay. So Naz Reid is in contention for 6-man of the year this year. Does he started too many games to win though?
Man, I don't know that rule, man, because
I don't know how that rule works.
Like Brogdon started a bunch of games last year. Quickly started a bunch of games.
He started 42 games.
Yeah, that's a lot of
games.
He
started 42 games this year.
Yeah, that's
a lot of games to start. So I don't feel like you should be able to start more than half of your team's games and be a 6-man of the year. So I got Naz Reid. Number 2 is somebody near and dear to your heart, Mr. Josh Hart. I think if we were to symbolize this particular team, Josh Hart is that, does whatever it takes to win. I knew as soon as they made that trade that Tibbs was going to love Josh Hart, and there was no way he was ever going to come off the floor, and that's been true. Next, look, a man who needs no introduction. We love buckets here on this show. You talk about a guy who, I think the number one thing about respect is the ability to stay employed, especially as a scorer in the NBA. The NBA is not short on scorers, right? So if you find yourself consistently employed on good teams as a scorer, you get my respect, and that's Mr. Norman Powell.
Yes,
Been shooting the leather off the basketball since he came over to the Clippers. I think he's shot like 43% from three since he's been on the Clippers. NBA champion Norm Powell. So he 100% gets the respect. Next is another guy who's a bucket, another guy who I really like, really respect, Scary Terry Rozier.
Okay.
Had to put Scary Terry in there.
Okay.
I thought he was going to get left out today. I got to give respect to Scary Terry. And then the last guy, a guy that's just a hop, skip, and a jump away from you over there. I respect him a lot because, look, man, sometimes your job sucks and it's hard to show up to work every day. And over the past 3 seasons, this guy has shown up to work every single day. Even played an extra game last year, played 83 games last year. He's on the outside looking in while all of his boys are over there in the garden having a good time. Josh Hart's over there. Dante's over there. Jalen's having a good time winning games. My man's across the street at Barclays, not having a fun time, but show up to work every day. That's Mikal Bridges, man. Yeah. Free Mikal Bridges, future Miami Heat all-star Mikal Bridges. Free Mikal Bridges. So that's my first team. Naz Reid, Josh Hart, Norm Powell, Scary Terry Rozier, and Mr. Iron Man, Mikal Bridges.
Hey, that's a pretty good list. I can't lie to you. Shout out Mikal Bridges. And Scary Terry didn't even hit my radar. So I'm glad you brought Scary Terry up because
you know a game.
You know, a lot of this stuff came into play for me. Like he's in Miami chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like it's harder to respect Terry. Like, yo, you know what? He would have made my list if he stayed in Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? You really like that would have been that's more respectful to grind it out in Charlotte. Now he's in Miami kicking it with the boys, having a good time. Hopefully they can get out of the play-in because I would love to see them in the playoffs against Boston in that first round, potentially even the Knicks in that 2-7. Okay, I'm not mad at that list.
Bridges was my curveball, man. Bridges was my curveball.
Yeah, Bridges is good, man, because
it's respect.
Yeah, it's a pure respect thing. I mean,
and he's good. I mean, he's classic guy. It's like get him out of this situation because he is a winning player. It's just it's a terrible situation.
And I mean, he probably has a good chance to get on all defensive NBA squad as well. But he just gets no attention and no love because he's out there. To be honest, I thought you were going to go Cam Thomas.
So listen. We're not.
Hold on. When you said that, you said down the street from my crib, I'm he's going Cam Thomas. So
Cam's moment will come. It's just not a team one type.
Okay. I think this is great because I think our teams are going to be quite different. So, all right, here goes my first team. NBA all respect. Number 1 is Josh Hart. He just laid it out. Guy makes $12.9 million. An absolute steal, does everything, top of the league coming down the stretch in minutes. We want to talk about just a guy that offensively is limited, but still finds a way to score. I was actually doing the betcast with Danny Green on True TV last week, and Danny Green said Josh Hart is so solid offensively, but doesn't have a lot of different things he could go to in his offensive bag, but still gets it done. he talked about how Josh Hart goes to the rack and is Euro left back to right hand layup. He does it over and over again. No one can slow it up when he's got it going, coming down the pipe. So shout out Josh Hart. He is the all NBA, all respect face of this type of squad. Number 2, Dante DiVincenzo. I'm gonna be a little biased here off the Knicks coming off top 2. Dante DiVincenzo has been sensational. He has been this. Nick, if you would have said the Knicks would be the 2 seed in the East and their clear second option on offense was Dante DiVincenzo, if you'd have told me that shit before the year, I would have laughed in your face. Dante DiVincenzo is the second option on offense to Jalen Brunson, especially with Julius Randle, of course, going out, and they're the 2 seed in the East. Dante DiVincenzo, nothing but respect for what he's been doing. Hey, man, Nick, he might be one of the he also might be a Hall of Fame white athletic dude I've ever seen.
Oh, what? Of course.
What when we talk about hoopers, hoopers, dude.
I don't even consider Dante DiVincenzo white if we're keeping it real.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Dante is
with us.
Dante is black, basically.
Yeah, he's black. Yeah.
That's how
for
athletic.
For purposes, he's black. Yeah.
Yeah, Dante. That's how crazy he's been going. Shout out Dante DiVincenzo, man. First team, all respect. Number 3, you left him off. I didn't. Coby White.
I didn't, but yeah, yes.
Okay, but you left him off your first team. You left him off the first team. Coby White's got to be on the first team. He's number 3 in the NBA in minutes.
Yep.
Guy's been playing every single night. We know how messed up that situation in Chicago is. Coby White is potentially, after Maxey, second most improved player in the NBA. He has been awesome. Coby White playing the minutes. Shout out Coby White. I got to put him on my first team. All respect. Listen, this might be a little career driven. What's the award called, Nick, when you give a artist the lifetime? This is a little lifetime achievement.
The lifetime achievement award. Yeah, lifetime achievement award.
This is a little all respect lifetime achievement, man. Fred VanVleet, 6th in total assists, bro.
All-star.
Fred VanVleet. Well, yeah,
all-star.
Not this year, though.
He was my number 1 guy, but he made an all-star team 2 years ago. Thought he could never be an all-star.
Yeah.
VanVleet was it for me, too. He was my first pick. I'm like, he's never made an all-star game. I looked him up, but go ahead. It doesn't matter.
That's true. Fred is a matter. No, so it's a lifetime achievement. I'm going to give Fred.
If you've ever been to Rockford, we respect Fred VanVleet.
If you've ever been to Rockford, Illinois, Fred VanVleet would automatically go on your NBA all respect team. No question about it. Fred VanVleet this year, 6th in total assists. That's more than Trey, DeJounte, Conley, Curry, Dame. 5th in deflections. Fred VanVleet. He's 30 years old. Fred VanVleet down in Houston. And look, you get extra respect points when you got to deal with all them young boys in Houston. Your coach is probably out running the streets. That's TBD. Fred, of course.
Folks is out there having a time.
Ime probably out there having a time. He dealing with Jalen Green and all those young boys. Fred is the anchor down there. Fred gets respect points for that. Fred VanVleet, first team, all NBA respect. Okay, hold on. I lost.
So that was your 5, right? Give me your 5
again. No, that's 4. That's 4. Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, Coby White, Fred VanVleet.
If 5 isn't where I think you're going, I'm going to be so disappointed. But all right, let's hear it.
Okay, number 5 is Bobby Portis.
Wow.
That is a first team all respect guy. For a guy on a team that should have no shots, he finds shots. Okay, Bobby Portis finds a way to get his. Bobby does not fuck around when it comes to being involved in getting shots up. I love Bobby Portis. He's been doing his thing. Every time Giannis goes out, Bobby Portis picks up the slack or tries his best to pick up the slack. Not a tons of talent, a lot of effort. It's all respect when Bobby Portis' name comes up this way. So shout out Bobby Portis. One more time, my 5, first team, all respect. Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, Coby White, Fred VanVleet, Bobby Portis, four little dudes, and then Bobby can be considered a big, I guess. But yes, that's my first team. All respect.
Love it. Love it.
Give me your second team.
So I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you left this person for me. Because when I think of all respect and Sean Little, I was like, I thought this was going to be the first name you said.
Okay.
Hey, never gets enough touches, always has a big impact out there.
Oh,
in the Big Easy.
yeah.
Shout out Jonas Valanciunas.
Yes.
First, second team, my first pick, Mr. Jonas Valanciunas. It goes without saying, whether it was in Memphis, whether it was in Toronto, or even nowadays in New Orleans, he is always playing good basketball. It never seems like he gets the touches that he should, but when he gets those touches, something good always happens with him. He's been a starter in the NBA since he came in. Jonas Valanciunas, to me, is the definition of the all-respect team and plays on winning situations, too, mind you. It's not like he's doing this for bad teams. So for me, Jonas Valanciunas, second team, all respect. This is where it gets fun for me. This is a guy that you and I have talked about since he came in the league last year. I'm a big fan of his. Obviously, I think he'd get a lot more credit if he was in a winning situation. But when you talk about modern day big, this is why I like the dude out of UConn, Klingon. He kind of reminded me of my boy here, Walker Kessler. Talk about putting in a shift. Talk about hard hat, lunch pill. Talk about versatility. Talk about impacting winning and doing things out there on the court. Walker Kessler will have his moment in this league. Mark my words. We will look back at some playoff series or NBA Finals series and say, yeah, Walker Kessler. He was the difference there, right? Get him in the right situation, or if that situation in Utah continues to evolve, Walker Kessler's a guy. He was very close to making first team for me. If I had to redo this, knowing, Naz Reid might win this 6 man, I might put Kessler on team 1, but Kessler, another guy I'm shocked you didn't put on, and I hope he makes it on team 2 for you. Isaiah Hartenstein. Hey, Isaiah Hartenstein. Big respect for Hartenstein. Every time he comes in, held it down while Mitchell Robinson was hurt. I think he's an awesome backup big. Thibodeau respects him, grabs boards, does the dirt work, is a brother, low key, if you don't know. So shout out Isaiah Hartenstein. Next, Kobe White. I had Kobe White as second team for me. Kobe White, for me, is almost like a lifetime achievement award. If you follow Kobe White's career, the Bulls have tried everything. Starting point guard, 2 guard, hot guy off the bench. Like, they have done everything they can to confuse this man about what his role is in the NBA. And all Kobe White has done is persevere, got better, was awesome this year, absolutely carried the Bulls during stretches of this season, is a really good defensive player, good shooter, and a guy you absolutely want to move forward with. And then my last one, I still don't pronounce his name right ever, but Brandon Podziemski.
Yeah, Podziemski. Yeah.
Podziemski. Warriors guy, Pods. Does everything. Dirt work guy, filled in for Clay when Clay was struggling, takes charges, grabs deflections, dives for loose balls, can run the point, can pass, can play make. As a rookie, absolutely played huge this year. So I was big on him, man. I think the Warriors are not in that 10th spot without his emergence this year, considering how bad they were for the majority of the year. So that's who we got. We got Valanciunas, Walker Kessler, Isaiah Hartenstein, Kobe White, and Brandon Podziemski.
Yeah. Let's go to Podziemski first. To be a rookie, to step into that locker room, to get time from Steve Kerr, to have to deal with Draymond Green. Draymond Green was giving that boy flack all throughout the year. The second Draymond saw this dude, he's like,
Jordan Poole's gone. You're my new guy.
Who the fuck is this dude? He's on the team.
Who is this guy?
Nah, man.
Where do we find him?
Yes, shout out Podziemski. He's been doing his thing. He's been having a big impact. So then to step in that team with Steph, with of course Clay. I mean, look, he's been more impactful than Wiggins in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like
what?
Podziemski has been very solid.
You've been more impactful than Wiggins.
So yes, shout out Podziemski. And to go back to Kobe White, for those who don't know, this was very clear. We got new leadership, AKME, who we should have some new leadership pretty soon as well. But for those who don't know, there was about what would you call it, Nick? A 30-game tryout for the people on the roster, essentially. and him and Laurie were on the chopping block. Maybe I got the timeline wrong, but I know that there was a window where Kobe White, it might have been the following year. I can't remember the exact timeline.
Yeah,
but Kobe White had essentially he's been bad. We can't figure out where to put him. What position is he going to play? He can't play point guard right now. Every time we try to let him run the offense, doesn't go well. He can't handle. He shoots it, but he's not. It's very inconsistent. And then he came down the stretch on the last 20, 25 games and played extremely well, and then turned that in the very next year and has been great this year for the Chicago Bulls. So, yeah, Kobe White has been one of those guys that on a roster full of touchable guys is a guy that the Bulls should keep and would want to keep. So shout out Kobe White and what he's been doing. All right. My second team is similar. There's a couple people on there.
Some of these guys are coming up then. Right.
Yes, some of these guys are coming up. So second team, I guess I got a sleeper. And this is in no particular order. I just I jotted them down. But I think this guy deserves some fucking respect, dog. Clint Capella leads the NBA in offensive rebounds. I guess it's easy to grab a lot of offensive rebounds with Trey and them boys just putting up a whole bunch of bullshit, Bogdanovich and them just firing away. But he leads the league in offensive rebounds. He's been doing his thing. Shout out Clint Capella. He's been putting in shifts year after year after year, and he's down in Atlanta on a team that no one seems to care outside of DeJounte, especially when Trey. That's one thing I've noticed about Atlanta. It's when Trey's on the floor, it seems like nobody gives a fuck about anything. It's this is the Trey show. We're just here to watch Trey do whatever he wants, and then I'll grab a couple offensive rebounds, and maybe we'll win. Maybe we probably won't. We definitely won't cover any numbers, and then we'll just go on about the next night. That's really what it feels like
from the James Harden situation, right? So he's that's not the first time I ball watched. So
yes. So whatever. I don't have to get a lot of touches. I'll just come in here, make my little bread. And he only plays 20, 22 minutes a game, leads the league in offensive rebounds. Clint Capella's been put in a shift. All respect for Clint Capella. All right, number 2, Isaiah Hartenstein. You laid it out. He's been unbelievable. I've been watching him up close. I've been at the Garden every single home game for the New York Knicks. He has been very, very impactful and an underrated creator in the pick and roll and doing stuff with Jalen Brunson. He's been good on the offensive glass. He's been a very impactful guy. And I think him and Nick Claxton as bigs that are going to be free agents are going to make a lot of money here coming up in the summer. All respect for Isaiah Hartenstein and what he's been doing. This is a guy that I love. Let's go to number 3, Lou Dort. Nothing but respect for Lou Dort. Every single night, honestly, I could have put a lot more Thunder kids on this list because for how well they've played, for being such a young squad, they've been awesome. But Lou Dort has been getting a lot more looks from 3 in that corner 3. He has been getting touches on offense more than he has been prior in his career. But he is asked every single night to guard the best wing on the other team, and he does it and plays a ton of games and is very impactful. I love Lou Dort. All respect for Lou Dort. And to watch his offensive game grow over the last 3-4. He came in the league, bro. He was a 0 on offense. Do you remember? You know who I was watching? You remember? I can't remember his first name, but remember Roberson on the Thunder? He's one of the worst offensive wings you've ever seen. Yeah, Anthony Roberson.
Yeah. He was just defense. Couldn't literally was a negative on offense.
I mean, a big time 0 on offense, and his offensive game never got better.
Yeah.
When Lou Dort came into the league, he was a 0 on offense, and it's continued to get better. Shout out Lou Dort, man. I'm a big fan. All respect for Lou Dort. All right. This is also another lifetime achievement. All respect. TJ McConnell. Cut the shit. Guy has no business being in the NBA, and he is in the NBA. He does his thing on a night-to-night basis. He doesn't get a lot of minutes because Tyrese and those boys are running the floor. But when he does get on the floor, he impacts. Similar to Walker Kessler, TJ McConnell impacts night in, night out. Led the league in steals a couple years back. I'm a huge fan of TJ McConnell. All respect for his game throughout. He has been so good for the Pacers. And I think if he got minutes, I don't want to call TJ McConnell a starter, but if he got more minutes, his impact would only grow and grow and grow. I love what TJ McConnell has done and will continue to do throughout the NBA and his career. So shout out TJ McConnell. That's number 4 for me. Shout out TJ. All right, and number 5, second team, Jonas Valanciunas. I've been banging on the drum for this dude for years. I love Jonas Valanciunas. He doesn't get any touches dealing with Zion and BI and CJ McCollum and Trey Murphy III and all those guys. He doesn't complain. He comes and puts in the shift every single night. I love his fucking beard. The beard is always on point. He got his whole look is so just, you got to respect it. you gotta respect Valanciunas and his game. So yes, shout out Jonas Valanciunas. Nick laid it out. If he were to get more touches and he was in a situation where they demanded O and needed O, Jonas can go get you 20 points a night. I have no doubt in that. I'm a big fan of Jonas Valanciunas. Double machine. Shout out the big fella down in New Orleans. Big love.
All right. I like it. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
My third team is nasty.
I was worried for a minute. I was worried for a minute you were going to leave Valanciunas off because I know that's your guy, and I was like, okay, if he doesn't make first team for you, like he needs to make an appearance. But I love it. So third team for me is where I had some fun. Had a little bit of fun with the third team. So we're going to lead it off with a guy near and dear to our heart. In a world where Ben Simmons makes $40 million to do whatever the hell it is that he does. In a world where you just informed me Joe Harris makes $20 million a year. I didn't know he was still in the association. Somehow, we go 85% of the NBA season without Javonte Green on an NBA roster.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's an indictment on our league. It's an indictment on the talent evaluators out there. It's an indictment on all 32 general managers that some of the guys out here earning a check, getting minutes, sitting on the NBA bench, hopping on chartered flights, staying in nice hotels, and Javonte Green was unemployed for most of the year. Javonte
criminal.
Green, look, man.
Criminal.
No, and this isn't a joke.
All respect.
Javonte Green is always up for a shift. Setting screens, throwing down dunks, bringing in the energy. Much like when Pat Bev showed up to the Bulls a couple of years ago. He gave the Bulls some life in this second part, in the last half of this season. Or not even last half, last like 10 games.
Yeah.
And it took injuries to get there. I don't know what we were looking at that said, hey, I don't want this guy on my roster. Like, look, we joke about the nonsense and all that, but it's like, he actually has no basketball skill, but I understand the rah-rahness. You can't get that from Javonte? Come on, man. And he seems like a great hang.
Yeah.
Shout out Javonte.
Shout out Javonte Green. All respect.
Yeah. All respect. Another guy. 3-time NBA champion. We talk about respect. No, I'm not going where you think I'm going. I'm not.
Okay. Who is
Sean thinks I'm going to 3-time NBA champion. He's all honorable mention on his 3-time NBA champion, U.S. Olympian gold medalist, JaVale McGee. But yes. I didn't put him on
lifetime achievement, all respect.
He is the vanguard. The admiral. No, I'm gonna give a guy who I was shocked to find out that he's only 28 years old. But whenever he's been a part of this dynasty, he's always filled his role.
I have no idea who this is.
Somehow he's only 28. Give it to Kevon Looney.
Oh,
I respect Kevon Looney. Hey, does his job.
Yeah,
does his job, bro. Hey, do your job. Fine.
Kevon Looney, wow.
And it's paid in jewelry for Looney. And somehow he's only if you would have told me Kevon Looney was 36, I would have believed you. Somehow he's only 28, so shout out to him. Another guy, man. This guy's been near and dear to my heart since I first saw him in high school. You know I respect buckets. I respect fearlessness. I
Who's
respect
this?
shit talking. The young bull, Colin Sexton.
Hey, okay, yeah. You've always been, yo, for those who don't know, Big Nick the Quick has been a Colin Sexton fan from the very beginning out of Alabama. That's funny as hell. Okay, yeah, tell me more.
Hey, don't you remember the game where there was a game where in Alabama, I think like they only had 3 players and it was like 5-on-3, and Colin Sexton had like 40 and they almost won. The young bull deserves his respect. Don't put some respect on his name.
They played 5-on-4. Colin Sexton was going crazy.
He's like, oh, this is it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can do this all the time. Hey, he was unfazed by 5-on-4. Unfazed by 5-on-4. So that speaks volumes to me. Love the young bull, man. We can do a whole. How long do we got? An hour? We can do a bonus episode on Colin Sexton.
That's funny.
Next guy, TJ McConnell. You already laid it out, man. I put TJ McConnell team 3 just because I don't think we can have this team without TJ McConnell on it. Yeah, McConnell is, in a day and age where like the traditional point guard is dying. You look at the NBA assist leaders; none of them are true point guards. TJ McConnell comes out there and still runs the show. So shout out TJ McConnell. And last guy, man. Look, man. When opportunity presents itself, some of us run away. Some of us shy away from the moment. And then there's Cam Thomas.
Yes, facts.
The shots were available, so I took them.
That's it.
18 attempts a game. Fine, give me 20. The first half of the season, Cam Thomas was unconsciously shooting the ball. Not like he was lights out, like actually unconsciously shooting the ball. Listen,
Get
man.
the attempts up.
22 points a game. The shots were there. I'm going to have my moment, man. I'm not going to back away. Fuck that. If we're going to lose, that's fine. I'm going down swinging. Shout out Cam Thomas, man. All-time year and usage rate from Cam Thomas. So much respect.
Hey, man,
my team.
No, okay, give the recap.
Yeah, so we go Green, 3-time NBA champion Kevon Looney, the young bull, TJ McConnell, and Cam Thomas. This team, I would like to see this team on the floor. I'm not even gonna lie.
That would be a fun team to see on the floor, low key. Cam Thomas, I watched at the Garden the other day. Knicks Nets.
He's 42,
he was
right?
going crazy, and he was talking shit, and he didn't care. He was looking in the crowd. Listen. You have to, first of all, you have to be a certain type of dude to get up shots and not give a fuck like Cam Thomas does. That's automatic respect in the NBA. Cam Thomas can fill it up, and he is not scared what you think or doesn't care anything about it. Yeah, Cam Thomas can get him up. All right, here's my third team. We got a couple crossovers here. Hey, Walker Kessler. He's got to be on there. He puts in a shift, just like Nick said. There will be a day where he impacts a playoff series, and you'll remember Walker Kessler kind of like Boston Kelly Olynyk or something of that sort.
Game 7 Kelly.
Yeah, exactly. So there's
Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah, shout out Kelly Olynyk. He could have got the nod.
He could have got some time on this team. Yeah,
he could have got the nod, low key. But yeah, second in the league in blocks per game, Walker Kessler. And he's out there. A lot of this, the respect for me too, is some of these situations. He's in Utah. Nobody cares except Walker Kessler and the young bull out there. Like, seriously.
Yes.
No one cares night to night about what's going on in Utah on a night-to-night basis. And Walker Kessler is out there still trying to contest shots and runs the floor. Walker Kessler got to be on this 1 through 3 team. Yeah, Brandon Podziemski is also on here. Leads the league in total charges drawn. Enough said. 38. Plays
deep in there.
And a guy that, like we said, he has to be to be a rookie, to come in, to get time, to impact on that roster with those Hall of Famers, with the Hall of Fame coach trusting you. Brandon Podziemski, unbelievable rookie year, third team, all respect. Okay, now let's have a little fun here. Hey man, George Niang. All right.
I love it. I love it.
Hey man, George Niang looks like me in more ways than one. We both chubby dudes, out of shape, can get in a lot better shape, but he is in the NBA and he gets volume, he gets shots up, and he's on a playoff team that makes an impact. George Niang. I gotta respect it.
much like Sean gave you all the side note about me and Colin Sexton, I'm going to give you all the side note about Sean and European shooters. We can go back to Sasa Vujacic.
Yes, the machine.
Sean loves the Euro shooter, the machine.
The machine.
Yeah, shoot. Vujacic, you can go to Davis Bertans. We can bring it all the way up to George Niang. Sean,
I've never been more
Euro
disappointed. Shooter. I do love me a Euro shooter. Bogdanovic. I've never put my neck out more for a fringe player than I did Bertans before he signed that deal. I'm like, this dude could be an impact guy on a really good team, and I was just gassing David Bertans up.
Dog, I just disrespected George Niang, by the way.
Yeah, he's American, isn't he?
He's American. His dad is from the Senegal. George Niang is with us.
Is he? Well, I thought he might have been like French or some shit, but that's why I didn't really know for sure.
He might be French. He might be French Senegal, but he's from the Senegal.
Okay, well, either way, shout out George Niang. He's a guy that's out of shape that gets tons of minutes and can knock down the three. George Niang.
He's one of those guys that whenever you're watching him too, it seems like he's hitting big threes. Go back to Philly, whenever. Like Niang is always, he's impacting, very impactful player.
Yeah, gets minutes, out of shape, looks like me. I gotta respect him. Isaiah, back to the serious shit. Isaiah Joe for the Thunder, big off the bench, 42% from three. He has been really good for a team that's been really good. I got to give Isaiah Joe his love. And then I'll close it out. Hey, man. Nick Richards of the Hornets.
That was so close.
Bro, 289 screen assists. That's like top 10 in the NBA. It's like 6 or 7 in the NBA. He only shoots the ball 5.6 attempts a game. He is out there in another place where no one cares. No one is looking to give him the ball. He just runs around and sets screens for everybody else and watches guys like Brandon Miller, who was solid, but like Lonzo Ball got some screens, I'm sure. Just a bunch of dudes.
It's an unserious situation out there.
And he's out there running around just trying to get people open. Like, I got to put him on the all-respect team. So my third team all-respect is Walker Kessler, Brandon Podziemski, George Niang, American, Isaiah Joe, Nick Richards of the Hornets. Last man off, Javonte Green. The only reason I couldn't put him on is because he didn't play enough games.
Can't believe it.
Absolutely criminal.
What do you mean?
Absolutely criminal. He wasn't in the league. Javonte Green not being in the NBA kept him off of this list, but big time love and respect for Javonte Green. Impact guy. There's no reason for all the guys that are in the league. Man, I can't believe he wasn't in the league. Criminal that Javonte Green was off. All right. I got some all respect stats, Big Nick the Quick, that I'm going to read off before we get out of here. You got to respect some of these numbers, Big Nick the Quick. All right. Sam Hauser played 1,741 minutes and attempted 19 free throws. Respect. You got to respect
Respectful.
that. Respectful. Was 17 of 19 from the free throw line, Sam Hauser. So just to, if you don't want to do the math or lock in, that's more minutes than OG Anunoby, Kristaps Porzingis, Jordan Clarkson, Pat Connaughton. He shot 19 free throws in 1,700 plus minutes. Got to respect that for Sam Hauser. Big Nick the Quick laid it out earlier. Joe Harris is making $20 million this year. Respect. I have to respect it. Shout out Joe Harris.
Hey, shot 50% in the contract year. More
That'll
power
do
to
it.
him, man. No,
That'll
hey,
do
know
it.
your worth.
Hey,
Know your worth.
and we just saw what happened out in Philly. If you can shoot that pill at a high percentage, you're going to get paid. Grayson Allen got
saw
paid.
what happened in Phoenix. Grayson Allen got $70 million.
Yes. So shoot that pill in a contract year, you're getting cashed out. All right. Big Nick the Quick. Jordan Poole shot 564 triples this year. 16th most in the NBA. He only hit 184. That is 32.6%. You got to respect it. You got to respect him showing up.
Man, let it fly.
And continuing to get up shots every single night. Jordan Poole out in Washington. All right,
and he got a deal.
And he got a deal. I think it just started this year.
And he has a ring, so he's unbothered.
Unbothered. Respect. Jordan Poole.
Respect.
All right, Trae Young played 54 games this year. Finished 10th in turnovers with 235. That's a lot of turnovers, dog.
Did he lead the league in assists too?
I don't believe so.
Did he lead the league in assists and turnovers?
I think Halliburton still leads the league in assists.
That's true. You're right. Yeah, he's up there though.
But look, Paolo played 80 games. Trae Young played 54 games, had 235 turnovers. Paolo played 80 games, and he is known as a turnover merchant.
Paolo.
Yes, and had 12 more turnovers. He had 247. He played 26 more games than Trae Young. Respect. That is a lot of turnovers. All right. Big Nick the Quick, you're never going to get this one, so I'm not even going to put you to the fire.
No, let's do it. No, put me to the fire.
Okay. Tell me the only guard in the NBA to play 60-plus games, average 30-plus minutes, and less than one turnover a game. There's only one guy, 60-plus games, average 30-plus minutes, and less than one turnover per game.
Halliburton.
No, Saddiq Bey. 0.9 turnovers a game for Saddiq Bey. Respect. All respect.
Saddiq playing 30 minutes a game tells you everything you need to know about what's going on in Detroit. Saddiq Bey even still in Detroit?
Yeah, it's no wait. Saddiq Bey is in Atlanta. He tore his ACL.
Oh yeah, he is in Atlanta. That's right.
Yeah, he tore his ACL in Atlanta. So yeah, get well. Saddiq Bey does not turn it over. Shout out to Saddiq Bey. Only guard in the league, 60 plus games, 30 plus minutes, less than one turnover. All right, Yusuf Nurkic led the league. Oh, actually, what do you think Yusuf Nurkic led the league in? Big Nick the Quick. What could Yusuf Nurkic lead the league in?
Is it a good stat to lead the league in?
No. Well, I guess it could be debatable, but it's total fouls. 254 fouls for Yusuf Nurkic. Respect. He's putting in, he's
Where was Towns? Where was Towns on that list?
Oh man,
if Towns didn't get hurt,
so many games.
Towns getting hurt, he'd be way up there.
But
I've never seen a guy commit more.
Listen to this. Karl Anthony Towns has a lot of nonsense fouls for sure. Listen to this, Nick. Jimmy Butler played 60 games and 2,000 plus minutes. He only had 68 fouls. For a guy that is known as a good defender and will pick up your best player, he only had 68 fouls in 60 plus games. In 68 fouls in 60 games. 2,000 plus minutes for Jimmy Butler. That's unbelievable. Respect. Shout out Jimmy Butler. To compare, Hero had 63 fouls in 42 games in 1,400 minutes. He doesn't even play defense.
Especially for a physical defender like Jimmy is. It's not like Jimmy. That's actually the most impressive stat I've heard in a while.
That is an unbelievable
he stays on the floor and gets
stat.
to the line. Doesn't commit fouls. And that's actually unbelievable.
Yeah, 68 fouls for Jimmy Butler in 60 games in 2,000. plus minutes. That's crazy.
Actually the craziest stat I've ever heard in my entire life for a guy who plays 30 plus a ton of minutes, and his calling card is tough defense when you want him to be. Or is that just that's
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what it says. Yeah, because all types of things. Or is it typical Miami where it's like Jimmy's not really doing that shit for those 60 regular season games? But I'd like to see that. Let's do this. Okay, at the end of the playoffs, if they make a run, let's look up his playoff fouls per game versus his regular season fouls per game. That number like shoots up to like 3.5 fouls per game in the playoffs. That's going to send off all types of red flags. But that's interesting.
But yeah, that's a crazy stat. 68 fouls in 60 games. That's crazy. You got a couple before we get out of here?
I love it. I just got one for you that I know you're gonna love. I got a stat for you. You ready?
Yeah.
$248 million.
Okay.
That's how much money Tobias Harris will have earned in the NBA by the end of the current contract that runs out at the end of this season. Talk about elite. Talk about respect. $250 million Tobias. He's probably got another,
and he's gonna get another 60 or 70.
Yeah,
he's gonna get $300 million. It'll be the easiest, unpressure filled $300 million one will ever make in the NBA.
Generational wealth.
Yeah, you know where I'm at on Tobias, man. This is the thing, bro. I'm hard on dudes that I think actually could be really, really good, and they just don't. They're just not as impactful as they should be on a night to night. And that's the definition of Tobias Harris for me in a lot of aspects. I like his game. That's also why it's like, why doesn't this, when he has good games, I'm like, why isn't this more consistent? I don't get it. But yeah, man, hey, cash those checks. Big respect from the bank. Respected at the bank.
He's clearly very talented. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I do got a couple for you though. I don't know if you looked at this. Who leads the NBA? Okay. This one was surprising to me. Who leads the NBA in loose balls recovered per game?
It's not Josh Hart.
No, not Josh Hart.
Loose ball. It's not Podziemski.
Josh Hart's not even. Josh Hart is 5th. No.
Loose balls recovered per game. It's going to be someone wild. I don't know. Who turns the ball over a bunch? You got to go get that shit. You got to go get. Kyrie, you got to go get the back all the time. Kyrie.
I was that jumped out the page. Kyrie Irving. All right.
Huh.
This one also jumped. This one kind of jumped out, but this might be scheme related. I'm
Luka
not sure.
Luka does lead the league in turnovers, so maybe that's part of it.
He's always chasing after folks' ball.
Yeah.
Come on, Luka. Contested threes per game. I think this is who contests the most threes per game, not takes the most contested threes.
Contested threes per game. So who's closing out and contesting threes all day long?
I was shocked on this one. Yeah.
I mean, who is it?
Bogdan Bogdanovic.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Bogey.
So yeah, and
are you sure?
I'm trying to figure out
that might be he's taking
because
that might be.
But then the next one is contested shots per game, and it's. But then Brook Lopez leads the NBA in contested shots per game at 16. He's not taking any type of 16 attempts in any basketball game.
Huh. Yeah, then maybe it is. That's crazy.
I think it's who's
shout out Bogey.
Closing out the most because Kobe is second. Then AD's not taking.
I'm losing you a little bit on the interweb, yeah. But that's all good. We'll get out of here. That's the first all NBA. Hold on. That's the NBA all respect team from Big Nick the Quick and myself, Sean Little. I hope you enjoy. We're going to continue to just have some fun with some of these pods. For Big Nick the Quick, I am your host, Sean Little. The NBA all respect team. Respect these boys when you see them on the floor. We'll see y'all next time. No, catch us, Sports Talk via Chicago. Tell a homie to tell a friend. We out here.